Hello, thanks for tuning in, and today we'll continue with Lee's route. Waking up to knocking hasn't been something I've experienced since middle school. Marcus used to always wake me up that way to make sure I was ready to catch the bus. I never really needed it, but I didn't tell him that. I was just happy that he was around. He always come to wait by the bus with me, even though he didn't need to. Some of the other kids would tease me for needing their older brother around, but I wouldn't listen to them. None of them understood how close we were. Mom and Dad weren't around much. It wasn't because they didn't care or didn't want to be. They were just busy with work, but they called us every night if they couldn't make it home. The knocking stopped after Marcus left. Mom stayed home for the first couple of months after that, making sure I was getting up on time, but she never knocked. I should have been grateful for the less annoying method of waking me up, but I wasn't. What I would have given to be woken up by knocking just one more time. But then I hear again the knocking at the door that jolts me further out of my stomach, causing me to nearly fall out of my bed as I was to get up as fast as possible. I don't even bother getting dressed as I make a mad dash for the door, not even realizing that this room isn't the same one I've grown up in for my entire life. I completely distracted with yanking this door open. Marcus? But it isn't him standing here. Of course, it isn't him standing there. This isn't my house. This isn't 5 years ago. I thought I'd gotten over this, but all the stress lately has gotten me thinking about it. In the place of my brother is Lily, looking just as untouchable as always, as if the world itself couldn't touch her. I wish I could be like that. Her expression isn't what I'd been expecting. I thought she'd be confused or happy to see me, but the moment his name left my lips, her smile morphed into a melancholic invitation myself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude on something so personal. No, it's fine. You just woke me up after I got a little confused. I can tell it's a good thing I didn't bring any of the boys with me, or they'd be getting an eyeful. There's a moment of confusion before I realize I'm standing in my door with just my underwear on, leaving very little to imagination. Trying to hide my shame, I close the door so only my head is peeking out, but the damage is already done. Lily is trying and failing to hold back her giggling until she's full on laughing right in front of me. It's hard to not crack a smile, and the lingering hurt at Marcus's absence phases lucidity fully returns to me. Just give me a second to get changed. It won't be too long, I swear. Take your time, Wallace. We're in no rush. It's just us for now. Right, sorry. I'll take my time. I'm always here when you're needed. Just call me Super Lily. And I do mean that, Wallace. You deserve to have someone to talk to as well. Or don't be afraid to come to me if you need. Thanks. I will. Good, and I'll be checking in just in case. I can't trust guys like you to take care of yourself. That's funny. I think Leigh said the same thing about me before. It's because we worry about you. But he's just a mother hen. But we'll talk about that later. Now, you go get dressed before someone sees you. I doubt you can handle that. Right, yeah, I'll do that. It didn't take long for me to get ready, but Lily's chattering through the door wasn't helping the process, especially once that she started to reassure me that I look good and that the boys definitely find me attractive. I feel truly defeated by the time I'm fully dressed and I can't feel my face outside of the fire burning underneath my skin. I open the door and she's leaning against the door frame, still chatting away through the door as if he didn't see me. I know she knows that I'm there as her smile steadily grows bigger the longer she talks without acknowledging me. It's clear that she's just teasing me, and it's hard to not feel charmed by it. And I know that's attractive to gay guys, but I know that's attractive to gay guys. I bet Leigh eats that up too. I know that you're really into him, and I know he's probably down too if he gets his head out. Wait, you were serious when you said he was into me? Lily? Oh, honey, you have no idea, do you? What do you mean? Lily? Don't worry about it, sweetie. Maybe it's best to not tell you. You're pretty adorable. Okay? Today isn't about that. Not yet, anyway. Today is about enjoying ourselves and getting you all ready for your date tonight. It is a date, right? I don't think it is. Anything can be a date if you try hard enough. That makes you sound like Oscar. He isn't always wrong. Oscar might be a little intrusive and loud, but he's right about things. People just don't take him seriously. I think he'd do a lot of good for Leigh if they were closer. Leigh is amazing, but he takes himself a little too seriously. We're college students. This is the last chance we get to be kids before the grown world really takes all of our time away. That makes it sound so bad. It doesn't have to be. Life is what you make it, Wallace. You don't have to conform to what the world wants or what your mind wants you to be. I don't want to get into this too much, not yet at least, but I can tell that what happened with your brother is still lingering over you. Just don't let that control you. It's your past, not your present or future. After I lost my mom, it consumed me for the longest time, and if it wasn't for my dad trying his damn hardest to get through to me, I might have continued on a path that would have only hurt me. Like I told you yesterday, the scars are still there, but I don't let them control me. I want to live myself for both my mother and me, and for my dad too. Oscar has the right idea. It's better to live each day as if it's your last because you never know what might happen. You don't know who you might lose or if it's your last day on earth. Whoa. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to get all serious, but I just want the best for you, Wallace. The best for Leigh, too. We all do. All of you are worried about me? Of course, you were really messed up over everything that happened. Lucas was really worried about you. We had to chat so I could reassure him that you were okay. Funny enough, I convinced him to call Oscar about that. I thought he'd do a better job with it. And he listened? Lucas doesn't dislike Oscar as much as you think. He just does things that frustrate him, but Oscar's probably even better for Lucas than he'd be for the two of you. I think you're doing a pretty good job with Leigh so far. I'm doing a good job. I wasn't trying to do anything. I'm not surprised. You don't seem to understand just how powerful you are. Powerful. You have this ability to make everyone gravitate around you and you make them want to be a better person. Even I felt it a little bit. If it wasn't for this week, I might not have visited my mother yesterday. I'm grateful to have met you all, truly. I didn't know what to say. I've never had anyone talk about me like this before. Not with even my brother. It was always an unspoken affection between us, but we rarely talked about it. But like I said, I'm worried about you. It's not just the things about your brother either. You always look a little haunted by things. I don't know what to say. That's okay. I'm mostly just rambling here, but I want you to listen, okay? Lee's mentioned that he's worried about you looking into stuff regarding Helena. She's really certain I'm fine. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I think he's being a little overprotective, but I do think he does have a point. Whatever's going on with you in the diary has been stressing you out. I just don't want you hurting yourself because you feel like you need to figure out what happened. No, don't. Let me finish so we can move on from this. I didn't want to spend the day talking about this. We were supposed to be enjoying today, not talking heavy topics again. Alright, sorry, I'll listen. I swear. I know you were. You're too sweet to lie. Hey. Anyway, I know you want to learn more about the diary, or maybe it's something more than that. I don't know, but I want you to remember that this isn't Helena's story, okay? What do you mean? Your life is your story, and it's about you. The mystery isn't important, and if things start to affect you negatively, I want you to realize that some things just aren't worth it. So sometimes you just gotta let things go. I open my mouth to say something, but she immediately cuts me off without another sentence, not even giving me a chance to argue. Her tone is serious now. I know that this is the time to listen. I know it isn't that easy. Trust me, I'm still getting through it, but I need to remember one thing, and if there's anything you can take away from this conversation, it's this. Letting go doesn't mean you're abandoning them or forgetting them. She says it with such conviction and intensity that I'm almost left wondering if this is the same playful girl I've come to know over the last week. Her firm tone commands enough respect that I wouldn't be able to forget that I would be able to forget them if I wanted to. It seems like this, I'm terrified to even have to meet her father. If he's supposed to be even scarier than her, I don't know if I'm ready for that. He might be scarier than Leigh or even the nightmares. Sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves and those we lost is move on. I know that's easier said than done, and I'm not trying to say anything. It's just something I want you to remember. Lily, letting them go isn't leaving them behind. It's remembering them and respecting them enough to move on. It isn't an easy or slow process. I'm still working through it myself. Just don't let things consume you, okay? I'm worried about you. Not enough to force you to do anything, mind you. I just have a hunch you needed to hear this. I don't know what to say, but thanks for caring so much. It's nothing, Wallace. We're your friends for a reason. You should lean on us a little more, actually. Leigh's bad enough as it is. We don't need you trying to imitate him. He's a bad influence. I don't think he's that bad. Of course you don't. She says that with enough sarcasm that I'm left pouting as he bursts into laughter. The heavy mood from before is dissipating and I'm unable to keep the smile from my face. There's something comforting about Lily that I don't get from any of the other guys, not even Lily. I'm glad that we're talking a lot. I couldn't imagine trying to push through all these thoughts in my head without her. Now that's enough of all this heavy shit. Today is a fun day, not whatever all this was. I blame you for making me worry, so you better make it up to me. What did I do? I'm kidding. Don't worry about it. I was trying to lighten up the mood, but really, leave the diary and everything regarding it at home today. I don't even want to hear about what you learned from the shelter. Save it for later. Are you sure? Yep, today is all about you and having fun. Leigh told me that he's got work this morning, so it's my job to make sure that your mood is high and laughter is plenty. Wait, Leigh put you up to this? Not really. I was already planning on coming to talk to you about our chat last night. He just mentioned that he was gonna be working and wanted me to check up on you. You know, he just cares about you. I'm not mad. It's really sweet. That's Leigh for you. Barely known him for a week, but that guy is more of an open book than you, and that's saying something. Hey. She giggles and darts off down the hall. I'm not giving any chance to prepare before she's rushing down the stairwell as if she expects me to chase after her. I consider chasing her before settling on just taking the elevator. I don't want to take a tumble down the stairs. I've become significantly less confident on my feet after everything that's happened, especially needing to be saved from tripping by Leigh twice. But I can't help but look forward to the day. Even though I have everyone helping me through this, we haven't had time to truly relax since things started happening on Wednesday. I think the last time we just hung out was Thursday for lunch. Right before everything went wrong at the library. We're not all going to be hanging out together from the sounds of it, but I'll enjoy the time I'll have with Lily and Leigh today. I have the feeling Oscar's going to be badgering my phone regardless. It didn't take long for my prediction to come true. Me and Lily were barely a block away from my apartment before the flood of messages from Oscar came in, asking about my time with Leigh, especially what he saw from Charlie's camera. I gave him the truth, but I did omit some of the details that I know he'd blow out proportion, though Lily giggled the entire time. I just have to hope this isn't much of a gossip, but somehow I get the feeling word will still get around. I hope that word doesn't get back to Leigh. He probably not approve of our entire group, knowing, and I get the feeling that if Oscar finds out, Lucas wouldn't be far behind. Speaking of the fox, he also sent me a message while I was talking with Lily earlier. It wasn't much, just a simple check-in to make sure I was doing okay, but it put in perspective what Lily mentioned. Everyone truly is worried about me, and it's both heartfelt and frustrating. It's really nice to have people caring this much. I haven't felt that in a long time, but it's also a little irritating having everyone look down on me. I can take care of myself. I've been doing it for years already. I know how to cook, do laundry, clean up, and basically everything else you need to live alone. The only thing I'm missing is a glimpse of life in the house. But that was only reserved for my parents coming home late into the night. Most of the time I wouldn't even get to see them. It's not something I really think about often. It's not something I really think about often, but that conversation with Lily must. It's not something I really think about often, but that conversation with Lily must have gotten to me, which was her intention, I suppose. I just chose to not think about everything, and it worked for the most part. Wallace, Lily's voice pierces through my thoughts, and I haven't noticed we're just standing on campus. I hadn't been paying any attention since he left. I've been on auto. I've been on total autopilot. So I was just thinking about stuff. Did you ask me for something? Oh no, I could tell you needed your space, but we've been standing here for nearly 5 minutes, and I thought you might want someone to wake you up before a stranger got worried. Thanks, but where are we? We're at one of the cafes on campus. Most of the stores around here are open on Saturdays. Plenty of students, especially post-grad, have classes on Saturdays, so most stores are open today. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't take the time to read up on Everwinter. But you decided to come here anyway? It was a spur-of-the-minute decision. I thought it would be easier to go here if possible. I already lived in Everwinter, and my parents wanted me to go to a college with flexible attendance. What do you think? It's just, I've learned so much about the boys already, but not from you. If I'm being honest, you've been pretty guarded with any information about yourself. I just thought we could get to know each other better. I don't think there's much interesting going on with me. I'm not so sure about that. But she doesn't elaborate further as he leads me into the building we'd been standing outside of. It turns out that it was a cafe, though I should have figured that out from the small table sitting outside. It just didn't expect there. Well, I didn't expect there to be such commodities on campus. For some reason, I thought there would only be classrooms and office buildings, but a lot of it are stores and recreational centers. While I was exploring around on Monday, I noticed the science building that I went into for my biology lecture had a whole leisure space for students, had a pool table, dartboard, everything. That would be fun to go to with everyone at some point. I assume it's available to all students. But that isn't important right now. Instead, me and Lily are just enjoying our late morning with some drinks and a conversation. She was especially eager to hear about my time in high school. I forgot that I told her where I went, so she kept asking me about what it was like to have a beach just a short walk away from school. I gave her the same answer as the last time, which was that it is as glamorous as you hope. I could tell there was more she wanted to ask about my home life, but she never pried. I think she wanted me to talk about it myself and probably to Leigh instead of her. I can understand why. Leigh and I have gotten closer this week than I ever expected we would. I don't know exactly how close with that indication yesterday morning, but he's one of the closest friends I've had in a long time. Plus, with how mature he is about everything, he'd be the ideal person to talk to all of this with. Not that Lily isn't great, but not that Lily isn't great. I just get the feeling she's always has her hands full with the others. And from the way she keeps talking about how excited she is about my date with Leigh today, I can only imagine just how much she's messaged him about it too. At this rate, I might as well be going on a date with her, even though it isn't even a date. Leigh just invited me out to have some fun. He's made it pretty clear that he doesn't view me in that way. Yesterday morning was a spur of the moment thing. He just views me as another kid for him to take care of. It frustrates me, but there's not much I can do about that. I just think I've developed a crush. I haven't done that to anyone I knew in real life before. At this rate, you're going to break that poor mug and then you'd have spilled hot chocolate and burned a hand. Oh, sorry, I was stuck in my thoughts. And penny for your thoughts. Are you the whole piggy bank kind of guy? It's just that Leigh always treats me like a kid. I wish he wouldn't do that. Lily suddenly goes quiet, and the pondering expression on her face is enough to shut me up. She looks like she's trying to figure out a way to say something that makes me worry. Lily? Hey, Wallace. Yeah? Why are you always so upset with Leigh calling you kid? It's just an affectionate nickname. He calls me and Lucas that too. I don't think he means anything bad. I don't know, it just does. I had never really given it much thought, even though I knew deep down why it bothered me so much. It's the same reason why I don't like people shortening my name, why I avoid the beats, and why I haven't been in my attic for years. Lily doesn't pursue any further, though I can tell that she's not buying what I'm selling. She just doesn't want to pry into a sensitive topic, and I'm grateful for that. She keeps talking, but I can't focus on what she's saying. I'm able to figure out that she's curious about my hobbies since Lucas and Oscar are so open with theirs, but Leigh and I hold ours so close to our chest. But my mind can't help but wonder back to Marcus how things were back then. Wallace, you there? Huh? What are we talking about? Are you okay? You've been out of it since we left your apartment. I've just been distracted thinking about things. Is it because I brought up what we talked about yesterday? Yeah. Did you want to tell me about it? I haven't really thought much about the time when Marcus was alive. It was just easier to pretend it didn't exist, but now my mind can't help but slide back to the summer he first came back from university. I don't know, baby. You were asking about hobbies, right? Things I used to do. Yeah? Well, most of what I did was with my brother. He helped me learn to play piano, play baseball, etc. We did everything together. When things were different after he came back from college, one day Mom called me to tell me that Marcus was coming back home to stay. I was excited, but no one else seemed happy about it. Mom and Dad tried to hide it, but they weren't doing the best job. My middle school brain couldn't comprehend why they weren't as excited as I was. I hadn't seen Marcus for months, and he usually only came for a couple of weeks before heading back, but he was finally back for good. To me, it was the best case scenario. When he finally came back, Mom and Dad were home to greet him, but they had to go catch a flight shortly after, leaving me back in Marcus's care again. I didn't care, though. I was just happy to have him back. Things seemed normal at first, but in retrospect, I should have seen more signs. He was never as happy as he used to be and would avoid leaving the house, only going out to accompany me. We never went to spend time with his friends like we used to, most likely because they had all moved on to jobs or stayed at university. But that didn't matter to me. I had my best friend back. My view is biased. He was always kind to me, so I thought everything was fine, even though he'd get into arguments with Mom sometimes. I thought those were isolated incidents. No one told the preteen what was really going on. I didn't find out what was really happening until I was older. I remember one evening Marcus brought home a big box to surprise me with. He said he felt bad about missing my birthday earlier that year due to still being at college, so he wanted to make it up to me. Before he left for college, we used to play video games together all the time. It was one of our favorite pastimes together. With no parents at home, we could play late on weekends or in school holidays. It was the best. I think it was trying to rekindle that relationship between us, not just for me, but to try and avoid that old connection for him as well. Well, to try and find that old connection for him as well. I don't know why he bought a console that expensive. He wasn't working at the time, so he must have used his savings for it. I never asked. I was just excited to have it. While we played it together a lot at first, that fizzled out quickly. He started becoming more and more reclusive. I've been too consumed in my present to notice, though. I still try to involve him more when he distances himself, but I didn't really care at the time. I was too focused on my own fun to notice anything happening with him. I can't remember much about that time. It's all a bit of a blur. Most things regarding my brother are. I don't know if time has just distorted them or if I just pushed them away, but they are. But that day where he brought home that console is as vivid as the day he bought it. I can pick up on every little sign I didn't see, every sad twist of his face, every hollow smile, every dismissive word. I wonder if he was ever happy after he came back home. Bringing my attention back to Lily, I can see that she's digesting everything that I told her. She never interrupted me once during my story and listened attentively to every word. I could tell she had things she wanted to say, but she held her tongue the entire time. I didn't know if that was for the best or not. I kind of wish that she would have spoken up. Thinking about that day, I was brought some pain in my chest. Like most of the memories of my brother, there wasn't a lot of happiness there. Was he ever truly happy? How did I never notice that things were that bad with him? We were together nearly every day we could be. Before he left for college, he would take me everywhere. His friends were my friends, and when they all went away, I was left alone. But that all vanished when he returned. But I was stupid and never considered what he was going through. Wallace? I expected a voice to come from Lily, but she isn't the one speaking. She's just watching with a gentle smile on her face. There's pain, there's a familiar soreness that comes from loss. But there's relief there too, at the presence of the person standing next to us, and from what I could tell, had been standing there for a long time. Just how long had he been standing there? Did he catch that whole thing? I feel like I should be more embarrassed or concerned about it, but there's something cathartic about Leigh finding out. He takes one of the remaining seats and sits next to me, initially staying silent to try and gauge my reaction, but when I say nothing, he takes the initiative with the conversation. Is everything all right, kid? Yeah, I was just telling Lily a story. Didn't sound like a happy story. I didn't know you were listening in. I shouldn't have, kid. Hearing him say that nickname again after everything Lily and I discussed fills me with a conflicting mix of emotions. I still irrationally irritate, but it still irrationally irritates me, but I can't help but feel the adoration in those words. Lily's right. They aren't meant to be demeaning or condescending. They're truly words of affection and endearment to those who believes deserves them. That makes me happy and annoyed in the world's most confusing cocktail. You know, I'm always here if you need it. I might not be the smartest guy, and I ain't gonna act like I am, but if there's one thing I am, it's a good listener. You sure? It's not a fun story. Of course I'm sure. I wouldn't have offered if I wasn't. It didn't take too long for me to tell Leigh the same information as I told Lily the other day. He had significantly fewer questions than she did, though somewhere along the line his hand came to rest on mine. Once I finished telling everything, we were all just sitting there in silence. I didn't know if he's just thinking about everything I said or if he's trying to figure out how to respond. Lily gives me a massive smile but keeps her attention elsewhere, like she's trying to give us a moment, though she isn't very subtle. She isn't very subtle with how her eyes keep flicking back over to us, especially on Leigh. She doesn't want to miss this for the world. Not that I can blame her. I don't think I've breathed since I finished the story. Telling it to Lily felt easier than this. This was less stakes. Not that I don't trust Leigh, I do. I just worry that it might change things between us. But before I can truly worry about that, he makes up his mind, but not in the way that I expected. He leans over and wraps a hand around the back of my neck, pulling me close in a loose, distant embrace. It isn't a hug, but it's still got that same close intimacy that makes the anxious buzzing in my brain shrink till I can barely hear it. Jesus, I wish you told me earlier, kid. I'm sorry. No, don't be. Things can be hard to talk about. I think we all know about that. Lily nods her head in agreement, but both of them are giving as soft of smiles as they can. They were filled with reassurance and love. I can feel my eyes watering, though I manage to keep myself from spilling tears. Damn it, I didn't mean to make you cry. It's okay, I've just never had anyone to talk to about this. Not even your parents? Surely they must have been going through the same thing. They lost a son after all. I didn't want to burden them any further. Mom really beat herself up over it and threw herself into work. Sometimes I wouldn't see her for weeks, even if she called most nights. Dad tried his best to take care of both of us, but since we were always separated, it was hard on top of his own grief and work. They were already going through a lot. You shouldn't have gone through it alone. It wasn't too bad. Jesus, kid, you really don't take care of yourself, do you? Come on. What? But I'm not able to say anything else as I'm effortlessly pulled onto my feet by Leigh. He doesn't hesitate to bring against him in a side hug that reminds me a lot of Oscar's affections, and the irony isn't lost on Lily, who's grinning ear to ear. Lily said that she wanted to give you a day to cheer you up. I never realized that you've been through so much, but she's right. It's not that big of a deal. Everything's fine. Lee's just staring down at me with concern but not pity. He truly wants to try to brighten my mood. He always wants my best interests at heart, but I've never seen him be this open about it. How could I argue against him? But I wouldn't complain about it. Yes. Do you have anything in mind? My sister's got a soccer match today. It's nothing big, but it might be something relaxing if you want to do it. I know she'd be over the moon about it. Geez, Leigh, Wallace bled his heart out and you immediately go to your sister? I'm just messing with you. Does that sound good to you, Wallace? I've been hoping we could do something bombastic, but something chill might be for the best. I think I like that a lot. Thankfully, her match is at the field that Leigh took me to on Wednesday, so it's only a short walk away. Leigh stuck to my side the entire time, though he put some distance between us after we began our walk. Once we arrived, we saw that the match was in full swing. Not that it meant too much to me. I didn't know the first thing about soccer other than the basic rules, but it was still great to see Charlie go at it. She's so focused on her match that she doesn't see us, but I'm able to catch just how excited Leigh is to be here. He looks enamored at the vigor that she plays with. The two of us are standing near the side of the field. There aren't too many people around, and it looks to be just the families of the players. This is an important game according to Leigh, but I don't know how many people come to soccer or come to high school soccer. Lily is standing a little closer than we are, and is seamless, shouting her support for Charlie, alerting her to our presence. Leigh chides her, but it's clear that from the smile on his face that he doesn't mean it. Neither Leigh nor I say anything for most of the match. In order to enjoy each other's company, it's hard for me to stay focused on anything. After all, our discussion today, everything's making me nostalgic. You okay, kid? Huh? You're staring off into space. Sorry, just thinking about things again. Your brother? Yeah, after everything, it's hard to not think about him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have had you explain it to me. No, it's not your fault. I've been meaning to talk to you about it anyway. Lily told me I should. Really? Yeah, I'm trying to not let it control me. I came to college for a fresh start, but we thought it would be a good idea for me to tell you, so I can have someone to lean on. He reaches over and runs his hand through my hair for thoroughly messing it up despite my flailing arms, but my attempts to thwart him don't have much bite to them. I'm here if you need me, but I won't push you. I know there are some things that are best left behind. My eyes dart down to his shirt, right over the area that is covering the scar that I still didn't know the story behind it. But I wasn't going to push him on that. Either. But I was. My eyes dart back. My eyes dart down to his shirt, right over the area that is covering the scar that I still don't know the story behind, but I wasn't going to push him on that either, not until he's ready. Thanks for being here. Of course, Kit Wallace, I'm not going anywhere. Promise? I swear on my sister. Well, I wasn't expecting you to go that far. Need you to know how much I mean it. Without thinking, I jump over and give him as tight of a hug as I can manage. It shouldn't have been a bad idea considering I've been on the receiving end of surprising him before he doesn't react at first, but he doesn't push me away. He just lays on hand on the back of my head, and his fingers begin to slide through my fur, forcing a settle through my spine. We just stand there, ignoring the rest of the world around us. I don't know how long we stand there like that, enjoying each other's company. I don't know what's happening around us, too engrossed in the but he doesn't push me away. He just lays on hand on the back of my head, and his fingers begin to slide through my fur, forcing a settle through my spine. We just stand there, ignoring the rest of the world around us. I don't know how long we stand there like that, enjoy each other's company. I don't know what's happening around us, too engrossed in the feeling of his claws around against my scalp to notice. But the sound of a camera stutter brings the two of us crashing back to reality, and we take a step away from each other, clearly trying to play off whatever that moment had been, but it's too late. Standing a short distance away is Charlie, legs still covered in dirt, pointing her phone's camera right in our direction while she wears the biggest grin on her face. Oh yeah, that's going straight to Oscar. Lily is standing right next to her, not even bothering to contain her giggles, but it's that single sentence that causes her to bust out laughing. My face exploded in heat. Lily tries to maintain his composure, but Charlie's constant snickering is enough to cause his ears to turn into a rose pink, one that makes him look just as adorable as he does handsome. Don't take pictures without their permission. Oh, don't be such a sour puss. It's not like I caught you to making out. Not yet, anyway. Charlie. Fine, fine, I'll chill with the photos. I already got what I wanted anyway. What am I going to do with you? Oh, I can tell you that. You can go get ready for your tonight while we steal Wallace for the rest of the evening. Huh? Come on, Wallace. Charlotte. But she just ignores him as he comes over and grabs my wrist, yanking me until we're both running towards the road. She isn't even bothering to get changed out for a soccer uniform. Lily quickly jogs after us, though she doesn't have to go far as Charlie quickly lowers to a walk once she sees that Leigh just sighs and walks off, likely back to their apartment. Don't worry, we won't be doing anything to you. As much as I want to, I'd be hoping we could dress you up in some of Leigh's old outfits, but he'd probably sit a brick. What's going on? Leigh needs some time to get ready for your little date tonight. It's not a date. When the two of them just share a look that tells 1,000 words and enough to make the burning on my face intensify, but they decide to take some level of pity on me. Okay, don't fly out on me. I'm just glad you managed to convince Leigh to go out again. Huh? I didn't convince him to do anything. Sure he didn't. But I didn't. But she just continues to drag me away with her until Lily intervenes and frees me from her grasp, though it's clear that I'm not going to have much say as to what I'm doing for the rest of the day. The rest of the day was Charlie dragging me around from store to store. I'm just lucky we didn't have to buy anything. I don't know if I could afford that with my limited funds. It's not like I have a job like Leigh. Lily decided to give me some reprieve, and we ended up taking things chill while Charlie recounted stories about how she was doing in high school and even talked about revisiting the shelter soon. I could tell that Lily was curious about learning more, but she didn't want to push. She really was serious about avoiding all things Helena related today and just focusing on a good time. It wasn't long before the topic switched over to Leigh, and the two of them hounded me on my relationship with him, as if there was any relationship there in the first place. They eventually gave up on trying to get any information out of me and opted to instead give me some relationship advice, though most of Charlie's advice was still convincing me that pushing Leigh was a good thing, whatever that means. But it wasn't too much longer until Leigh messaged me telling me that he would be ready soon and he'd meet me outside my apartment, giving me a chance to freshen up if I needed to. I didn't do much other than brush my fur and put on some scent neutralizer, but that brings me to now. Standing outside of my apartment where the comfortably cool autumn breeze makes me hyper aware of my surroundings. More specifically, how alone I am out here. It isn't an eerie feeling, not really. After a melancholic day, I'm feeling very introspective about everything that's happened recently, especially what I learned yesterday. I'm not alone thinking that whatever happened on Thursday was weird, that dream or hallucination, or whatever it was. Lily thinks something weird happened there too. She still thinks that it's best if we just forget about it, but I don't know if that's true. What if there's something more going on? What if someone needs help? I can't just... My phone buzzes in my pocket and I fish it out, expecting it to be a message from Lily or Charlie, but it's actually a call from Oscar. It's a little after 5. What could he want? Hello? Hey man, long time no talk. We just hung each other on Thursday. Yeah, but we've only known each other for 6 days. One day it's like 16% of the time we know each other. But you called Charlie just yesterday. Wait, is it really 16%? Yep. Did you just do that off the top of your head? Hey man, give me a little credit here. I'm doing an economics class. After all, I've gotten used to handling numbers. So I didn't mean to imply, come on, I'm just messing with you. Lighten up. You sound real wound up. Breathe for a moment. Sorry, it's been a weird day. No sweat, man. Bet you've been stressing over tonight, haven't you? Tonight? Your date with Papa Bear there. You know about that? You think Charlie could keep it to herself? She told me that right away. Glad the two of you finally got around to it. Maybe he can finally make a move on you. If he doesn't, I'll have to make one first. Might get his butt into gear. What? Okay, so you want some advice? Wait, this is all going so fast. This isn't even a date. It ain't? Man, guess he's taking it a little slow. Still, I know how guys like him tick if you want a little guiding light. You do? Totally. He's a freebie, but you'll have to ask me in person for any more. Guys like him are all real receptive to what you're feeling. So just make sure you enjoy yourself, as he will too. Just let loose, and he probably will as well. Not much, mind you. I can't see either of you being. Boy. You think Charlie could keep it to his? You think Charlie could keep it to herself? She told me that right away. Glad two of you finally got around to it. Maybe he can finally make a move on you. If he doesn't, I'll have to make one first. Might get his butt into gear. What? Okay, so you want some advice? Wait, this is all going so fast. This isn't even a date. It ain't? Man, guess he's taking it a little slow. Still, I know how guys like him tick if you want a little guiding light. You do? Totally. He was a freebie, but you'll have to ask me in person for any more. Guys like him are all well receptive to what you're feeling. So just make sure you're enjoying yourself, and he will too. Just let loose, and he probably will as well. Not much, mind you. I can't see either of you being super party animals, but then again, that outfit he wore does make me wonder. Anyway, just have fun, okay? I'll check in on you later to make sure it's all going good. Have fun tonight. Before I can even give a reply, he's already hung up, leaving me speechless with a billion things I want to say. I feel like I'm still reeling from that fast-paced conversation, and I don't know what to make of it. You okay? Leigh's voice startles me into stepping back, nearly tripping over my feet in the process before I'm able to get my bearings. At least I managed to do it myself without him needing to save me this time. Sid, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I tried getting your attention, but you just kept staring at the ground. No, it's totally fine. I was just a little bit lost in thought. I'm okay. Just excited about heading out tonight. Leigh's sudden arrival brings me careening back into the present, and is a reminder of what's about to happen. I've been so stuck in my head about everything that everything passed in a blur. I'm about to head out with Leigh tonight, like a date, except it isn't a date, right? I know Lily and Charlie think it is, but that wouldn't make sense. Even Oscar thinks it's a date to some degree. But Leigh doesn't see me like that, and you sure you don't look excited? If you're not feeling up to it, we don't have to do this. Yeah, totally. I'm excited. I mean it. But if it isn't a date, why does Leigh look just as nervous as I do? He does look concerned, but it feels like he's trying to find an excuse. I nearly considered taking it, but after everything Oscar said, maybe it couldn't hurt. I'm just a little nervous. I don't really know what we're doing. That's my bad. Charlie thought it would be better as a surprise. It sounds pretty fucking stupid now, though. I'm not sure about that. It's pretty exciting. It's something that you like after all, right? Yeah, I guess it is. It's something I haven't done for a long time, though. Might not even be my scene anymore. Do you want to do it, though, right? But you want to do it, though, right? Right, let's get going. I don't want you there too late. It can get overwhelming if you've never been to a club before. We're going to a club? Yeah, since Everwinter has a lot of college students, there's plenty to choose from depending on where in the city you live. I've never ever seen one before. Probably just walked past it. Come on. He walks off with his hand in his pockets, and I have to jog after him to catch up. Despite the cool autumn air licking his exposed fur, it doesn't seem to bother him at all. Compared to him, I suddenly feel very overdressed. Should I have worn something different? Now you find people don't care you look like you. Did your sister make you wear that again? No, not this time. I expected him to elaborate, but he doesn't, so I don't question him on it. I think this whole thing has him a bit nervous, and I don't know if it's because of what we're doing or if it's because I'm going with him. For a moment, I thought that we might end up back at the campus with how it seems to have everything, but we end up heading into the center of the city. Since it's a Saturday night, there's a flood of people filling the streets. I've never been out in the city at this time on weekends except when I went out to dinner with my parents, and we always drove, never walked. The sun is still above the horizon, but it's strange seeing how many people are just walking around. I always knew Everwinter was a densely populated city, but it never felt that way to me until now. Well, not until now, that is. It didn't take long for Leigh to wrap an arm around me and pull me close. Neither of us comments on it, and I'm grateful this isn't the first time he's worn that. It still makes my face flush to be so close with how exposed he is, but I'm not as stunned as last time. The walk's mostly quiet, though sometimes Leigh will interject to tell me a story about one of the places we pass. They're often short and sound more like he's reminiscing than anything else, but they're enjoyable nonetheless. What truly shocks me is the lack of attention we bring to ourselves. No one seems to care about Leigh's eye-catching outfit or how close the two of us are. For the most part, the only thing we get is a passing compliment or someone winking at us. Most of them are directed at Leigh, but some of them are for me, and the first one caused me to nearly trip over my own feet. I guess I'm just glad Leigh doesn't comment on any of it. I think I would have died. By the time we make it to the club, I feel thoroughly embarrassed, but Leigh just looks amused at my plight. I'm just grateful none of the others are here. I know Lily and Austin would tease me, and Lucas would make an accidentally cutting comment. But Leigh just runs his hand through my hair fur like he always does and just gives me time to calm down. It's a subtle accent that won't bring too much attention, and it does make me feel like a child, but I can't deny it's soothing. It makes what should be a pretty awkward situation not as bad. Leigh just has that effect on me. Things just never quite feel strange or bad when he's around. Why are we going to a club? I would have assumed that's somewhere Oscar would take me, not somewhere I suggest. Yeah, sorry. It's fine. Most people would think that if they saw me now, but I was a lot wilder back in high school. Charlie did mention you wore a lot more stuff like this back then. It was more than just that. My fur was dyed black, and I'd wear a lot worse than this. I'd spend any night I could at a club. It was something I could feel for you. There's something to the feeling of the music vibrating the floor and a crowd of people dancing, but no one caring who you were. That was freeing. When I moved into the shelter, I started visiting a lot more alongside some other bad life choices. The ones that make you worry about Oscar? Yes, once I finished high school, I worked hard to get custody of my sister. It was a wake-up call that I couldn't keep being irresponsible, so I stopped going. Haven't been to one for years. Even though you loved it, not as much as I love my sister. She's more important. But that's not fair, is what I want to tell him. He shouldn't have to give up everything he wants like that. I know Charlie feels the same way too, but it isn't my place to tell him how to live his life. Right? But there's a passion to the way he's talking that I've never quite heard from him before. Sometimes Leigh speaks more than his usual short sentences, but there's an excitement I've never heard from him before. I wish he wouldn't try to suppress it. We're here. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. So we'll see him in the club next time. Alright, so everybody basically, pretty much everybody, has been encouraging both Leigh and Wallace to go on this little outing, basically. Oscar especially. So basically, it was basically Wallace just preparing for his night with Leigh, and he got to talk with Lily about his brother and the fact that he came back from college. He was pretty miserable. So I don't know what happened while he was in college, and plus, that basically led to him committing suicide. But anyway, I don't know what happened in college, but anyway, it's very sad. But anyway, so Wallace talked about that to Lily, and both of them went through a lot of negative stuff. But anyway, so Oscar, he's very much into what Wallace and Leo are doing, even though it's not really a date. But Oscar, he's treating it like a date. He gave Wallace some advice about how to go about it and what he thinks guys like Leigh are. So, yeah, so we get to see how this little get together between Leigh and Wallace goes next time. Haven't seen much of Lucas. It's mostly been Wallace and Leigh and quite a lot of Lily and quite a bit of Oscar, and rarely ever we hear from Lucas. So far that's basically been our order. Since that dream they had, we've seen plenty of, well, besides Leigh, because it's his route on, and Wallace, because he's the main character. In the order from first to last, we saw a lot of Lily and Charlie, but we saw a lot. But again, I'm talking about the college students, the main ones. Anyway, we see a lot of Lily. Well, we seen a lot of Lily, and then we saw quite a bit of Oscar from time to time. We rarely ever really hear from Lucas. So yeah, he does check up occasionally, but we will probably only heard about him about once or twice since the dream. So yeah. So we'll continue with Violent Memoir next time and see how their little night out goes in the club. So thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.